Hey everybody, it's Chris and Tony back with another TigerSox review for the Blue Collar Beer Gourmet.
Hi,
Haha.
we're so glad you could join us.
Indeed we are, and we want to thank Mr. Gone V6, our man Chris in Indiana, for today's TigerSox selection. This is in fact not a Hoosier beer, because it is out of
It's from my home
Michigan.
state.
Indeed, out of where
And
is it?
it is
It's
made,
Bell
yeah, it's
Comstock.
Comstock, Michigan.
Comstock, Michigan, Bell's
Yep,
Brewery.
Bellsbrewery.
This is a very familiar beer to those of you who are on Twitter and/or Tumblr and Instagram in particular. You will recognize this beer. This beer won Best American Beer by Zymurgy actually very recently. Chris sent this to me. As it turns out, we can in fact get this beer here in the Neon Valley. But you didn't know that, Chris, and I still appreciate you sending it to me.
I haven't seen it. He has, but
I actually have seen it on our shelves at Total Wine here in Vegas, but I, as of yet, hadn't tried it, and I'm going to assume probably it was just a little above price point for me. But looking into it, I don't think it's very much above price point. Like I think this might be like a $2.79 beer, something like that.
No, you fishermen out there will enjoy
Indeed, but it's
it.
like I said, those of you who are on, even if you haven't had it, if you spend any time looking at the beer junkies on Instagram or Tumblr, you will have seen this bottle many times. I went to go check out Untappd to see the rankings among not only my friends but everybody. 75 of my Untappd friends have sampled it and given it an overall score of 4.04, and over I think it was 344,000. People. So over 250,000 people on Untappd have reviewed this beer, and its overall score was 4.0 exactly. So if more than almost 500,000 people can review your beer and you still end up with a 4.0 out of 5.0, wow,
That's almost uncharted territory when it comes to Untappd.
It is an IPA. It's an American IPA. It's listed as such. I don't know the story of Two Heart. Does it say back on there?
Well, here's what we can
trouts
share with
have two hearts or something? Because it looks like a trout on the cover of this.
It does. Although there's no mention of any fish story on the back. Brewed with 100% Centennial hops, this Bell's American IPA is named after the majestic Two-Hearted River in Michigan's Upper Peninsula.
There we go.
Even though I'm from Michigan, I didn't live there very long, and I did not live in the Upper Peninsula, so this is news to me. I didn't know there was a Two-Hearted River.
Yeah,
to be honest with you. Bursting with hop aromas ranging from pine to grapefruit and perfectly balanced with a malt backbone, this beer is well suited for adventures everywhere, including my dining room.
Indeed.
We're still avoiding the garage because it's still summer in Vegas and it's still sweltering outside. And I actually touched my car. I have a black car, and I accidentally leaned on it yesterday. And I don't know if I've moved that quick.
And the third-degree burn on his skin is still there.
Yeah, I'm like this. We're trying to drive today. Yeah, you get in your car, your steering wheel is like pudding in your hand. You're like, it's gonna be hard to operate a vehicle. Anyway,
just a little more info on this. Just to let you know, this does come in at a 7.0 ABV.
7.0.
A little high for an IPA, but last week's IPA was actually 7.5. And it
was outstanding.
And in addition to that, they do have a packaged on and a shelf life date. We are actually 2 days ahead of the shelf life expiration.
Yeah, we caught this. So, it says 6 months, but you know how that goes. It's just a
number.
You can go a little beyond that.
You true IPA snobs hate to drink an IPA that's more than a month old. So, but
fresh hops are better. Let's use our pop the top from Taza. We haven't had this one. Well, we've had a lot of cans lately. So we haven't been popping too many tops lately. Hey, like the old days, it worked on the first try.
That's the thing about these openers. When just about the time you think they're not opening, they're not working, they actually will come back to life.
There's another fish for you, everybody.
I don't know about y'all. I'm seeing a trout. I'm not going to claim to be the leading ichthyologist among the beer review community, but
if my nephew Jake watches this, hey Jake, if you watch this, what kind of fish is this?
Exactly.
Guy goes fishing every single day.
Okay, so and Jake or
other people,
ichthyologists out there,
we're going to be
check
using
us out.
Our
From the
Creek glass.
We are Creek Geeks, and we use Creek Geek glasses.
And I will be using my Mud Shark Brewery glass.
A great brewery from
Lake Havasu,
Arizona. We've been there one of the breweries we've checked out.
Good place. It was fun. Smells. You got your IPA going on. You're getting that piney. You're getting the hops.
Oh yeah, yep, very much an IPA
you're
smell.
Getting a bold infusion of
and you're getting that citrus and pine and
eucalyptus and all the other things that you expect from
things that go bump in the night.
Okay.
Things that go in your beer. Wow, that's a nice brassy color.
Yeah, very much so. Carbonation is very active in there too, by the way.
Almost a burnt amber.
Got some good carbonation going on. And it smells great.
Tastes great, less filling.
Tastes great, less filling. Tastes great, less filling. Yeah, let's bring those commercials back.
By all means.
Look at those bubbles cling into that glass.
And yeah, we've got some serious. As I do a swirl, you can see the lacing. It's very.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Very.
The head is not resilient, but we've got.
Very rich, creamy head on yours.
Oh yeah. And now that the smell is finally able to open up here in the glass.
Into the glass.
I'm getting grapefruit for sure. I'm getting a little bit of tobacco, a little bit of hay, a lot of that malt. I'm thinking 2-row is probably the malt profile because it sure smells like the farm. I am getting orange. Well, I get more grapefruit than orange. But, okay, yes, navel, yes, yep. Yeah, not the usual mandarins that are around my kitchen.
What's unusual about all the IPAs that we reviewed together is you tend to, whenever we're filming an IPA tasting, and it's the first time we've had that beer, you're very it's almost like your nose picks up more. Mine picks up more of the fruity elements, citrus, any kind of fruit involved with the beer at all. In this case, grapefruit and orange, we believe. Yours is like you name hay, you name things that you don't necessarily associate with putting in a beer. Necessarily, like tobacco. You just said tobacco, so there's another example. It's just interesting how, just like taste. Everyone's like, I taste this. Well, I taste this. Well, good for you.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
good for tasting whatever you taste. But yeah, I'm getting a lot of navel orange. That's kind of the one thing I'm really, really smelling. All right, everybody.
Let's get right to it.
This beer is really famous. So
thanks again, Chris.
Thanks again, Chris. Absolutely.
And thanks again, Chris. Wow.
Very carbonated.
Carbonated and creamy, and I'm getting a medium mouthfeel, slight bit of spikiness, but I'm not getting the burn from the alcohol. Right on the tip of my tongue, I'm getting almost it's like a combination of citrus and even a little bit of floral.
Yes.
But it's not bad. It's not a bad floral. It's not like, where is this floral coming from? I'm thinking the floral might be part of the malt composition. As I said, I thought that was 2-row, and I'm not sure what other malt would create a floral composition, but this is a tasty beer for sure.
Oh, absolutely. I'm actually having a hard time coming up with the correct words on this one. I've been stumped.
The piney is certainly coming through in both aroma and flavor. I think that pininess is actually making up the majority of that medium mouthfeel. It's difficult for me to say whether it's medium or medium high on the mouthfeel, but somewhere in that range, the high end of medium on the mouthfeel. Yeah. It's not overly spiky, but there is a piney element that you're basically getting, kind of like when you're in the deep forest, you smell the pines, and you can actually kind of get it on your tongue.
Yeah.
That's what I'm getting right now.
Yeah, it's almost, I'm almost thinking the pine cones.
Or somebody mistakenly throws some pine needles into the fire, and you end up with that kind of smoky, piney smell. Yeah. Creamy though, very creamy.
Yeah, I'm having a really hard time nailing down what I want to say with this beer. I don't normally have that problem.
Especially for an IPA.
Yeah, normally I'm just like, talking over you. It's outstanding. I get the slightest bit of farmhouse element to it, but it's just so it's just so faint.
The Brett, the yeast kind of
Exactly,
I can see that.
It's almost like the kid brother is like in there, but it's by and large it's a very powerful, delicious IPA. But I get that little bit. I feel like I'm having a farmhouse kind of splashed in there somewhere, or just a Belgian double or something. I don't know. It's just I'm really tripping over my words on this
yet simultaneously it is very much an IPA beer. Like, absolutely. I mean, if this had showed up in a in a mystery bottle, and there will be a mystery bottle coming very soon. Chris sent us a mystery bottle from
who doesn't love a mystery
from
bottle?
I forget the name of the brewery. They got a 12 on their cap, so it's I want to say 10.
I think I've seen that.
Anyway, but yeah, Chris picked up a beer for us, and we think it's a porter, but we're not entirely certain. But getting back to this one, the best beer in America by Zymurgy. I can see why, because this is. I'm going to show you that lacing one more time. Just look at that.
Really sticking.
I think that, yeah, my goblet has got well, nothing against Mud Shark, but you know, it's a Creek goblet, so you know, what can you say?
Yeah, that's true.
We're Creek geeks, and naturally we're going to, you know, we're going to defend the glassware. Thank you, Chris, for sending this.
Thank you very much, Chris. I'm sorry I don't have more descriptive.
By the time this actually gets put up
on, I really like it.
By the time this actually gets put up on YouTube and then as well as the Facebook page, I will try to get over to Total and let you know a price point on this, because you can actually pick this up in the Neon Valley. And I love that rare opportunity when we actually get a beer from Chris, when I can say, hey, guess what? You can get that here, you know. So,
that's cool. I would score this very high. I'd probably go 4.25 on 4.25.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm thinking the same thing. And I want to try other beers from this brewery.
Even though I'm tripping on my words and I'm not really able to just pinpoint really, you know, what does stand out in the beer to me, it's just delicious. So first and foremost, it's a very good tasting, satisfying IPA. I also would say that if you're new to IPAs or you're kind of cynical when it comes to IPAs, maybe not this one might not be for you, because it's very complex. It's got a pretty noticeable bitterness to it. So it's a somewhat more of a bold IPA, I would say.
If you've been trying IPAs and haven't had a bold one yet, I think this might be a good first bold IPA for you.
Yeah,
it's not that
crazy. That way too, right?
It's complex, but it's not it's not going to knock you over with the bitterness profile. I mean, I can't imagine the IBUs are more than probably, I'm guessing 70 or 70 somewhere, 60, something like that. Definitely not as high as 80. But there is still that little bit of bitterness in the aftertaste too that you get from it being an IPA.
You might have noticed I've put this almost away.
Yeah, neither one of us have a whole lot. I'm going to have to take a picture after this, and I'm going to get
super delicious. I mean, I just I don't know how else to word it in this case. I mean, I'm getting, like I said, the navel oranges to me really stood out as an aroma and a taste, a flavor, and the carbonation stood out, and the alcohol burn, I would say, is perfect.
Yeah.
It's not weak or strong. It's
exactly. It's just medium. Right there, just to let you know that you are in fact enjoying a beer, not just a carbonated beverage.
Look, I drank it all gone.
He did. All gone. He's a big boy.
It's only 6 ounces. I hope I can put them away. So yeah, outstanding. Thanks again, Chris.
Thanks, Chris. Mr. Gone V6, check him out on Tumblr, and actually I don't know that he's on Tumblr, but he is on Instagram. Takes really good pictures on Instagram. Always has great lighting in his pictures, and most of them are in his kitchen. And he's a good guy, so check him out. And we thank you again. And I'm going to show you Tony's going to show you the bottle one more time. That is the Two Hearted Ale from bellsbrewery out of Comstock, Michigan. Yep. Once again, winner of Best American Beer by Zymurgy. I'm guessing that was probably, because I just recently read about that in the beer blogs, so I'm thinking that must have been back in no later than May, possibly June, even when it was when that won the case. So until next time, drink good beer, don't break the bank doing it, and cheers.
Bye,
later, everybody.
See you in a week.